Good morning and welcome to Eternity Speaks. I'm your host, Reverend Bill Eggleston, and I hope that everyone had a very wonderful Christmas and they were surrounded by family and friends. And I hope that you had a chance to reflect on this past year as we enter into 2022. We're in our final week of 2021, and it's a good time to honor those that are no longer with us. It's important to keep their memories close and keep their spirits and memories alive in our hearts. Um, I was actually kind of thinking that almost a little off script here, but a couple weeks ago I was working with some tools that I kind of inherited. My I lost my father last November, and this is my second Christmas technically without him. Uh, but I was working with the tools, and I could almost hear his voice right behind me as I was working with him, and I never really grieved for him. Uh, I just kind of accepted it and moved on. And while I was working with those tools, uh, I was listening to some music and some Christian music. I don't normally listen to music while I work, but this particular time I was, and I was down on my knees cleaning underneath. I had run some bores through the joiner that I had, and then all of a sudden, it between the song and the way everything was, it just hit me. It hit me all at once. Uh, I could hear him behind me telling me to make sure you get up underneath where the bolts are because there's still sawdust up there, and I had the vacuum going, and then it just hit me all at once. I was already on my knees, so I just uh, I just kind of lost it right there. Uh, I I got thinking about everything, and I came to realize that the last person to use those tools was my father, and I could really feel his energy right there with me while I was doing that. And despite all the blubbering and everything on my knees, thinking about everything, it uh, it brought a lot of joy to my heart to know that he's still around. Uh, when people pass, I've always said it. People don't die. They go home. It's that simple. They just change states. I mean, if you want to think about it in like scientific terms, if matter can't be created or destroyed, then how do you explain spirit? The body passes and everything, and that goes away, but there's still that energy. There's still that spirit that's there. Uh, that is where the soul comes in. And we all return to heaven, and that's it. Just it kind of all hits you at once when you really start thinking about it, and that's part of the important part of this time of year is making sure that you keep people's memories alive. That's how you keep them close. Um, you don't forget. You replay different scenes and different scenarios in your head, and it to helps you to refocus on what's important. You when you lose, like, especially like a parent, and you're thinking, oh geez, now what I'm going to do? What am I going to do? I can't bounce ideas off them anymore. I can't reach out to them and get answers. Well, you still can. They're still listening. They're still there. The energy is still there. The soul is still there. You just have to ask. It's going to be different. It's not going to be the same as, you know, if I were to call my dad and say, "Hey, guess what happened today?" It's not quite the same way. I'm not going to get that immediate response, but I'll feel it, and that's you feel it in here. That's kind of how that works now. It's just a different kind of communication. Um, and it's important also this time of year that you take stock in your self care, your own well being. That you take the break that you need. The holidays are very stressful. Uh, you you need to know when to stop and take a breath and step back and just reevaluate what's going on. Um, you In times like that where you're feeling overwhelmed, you can still reach out to loved ones. You can still you say a prayer. Ask that God ease your stress and guide you down the right path, and help you overcome whatever situation you're going through. Your family is still there. Whether you can see them or you can't see them, they're still there, and they're still guiding you from the other side. And you keep their memory alive by it. Even if you're alone and you're having an issue, and you start talking. I do that sometimes when I'm alone. If I have something that I would normally have discussed with my dad, or with anybody, I start that conversation. Um, you may not have a direct, immediate answer, like I was saying. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be different, but you'll still get your answers in the most subtle ways. You'll you'll smell uh, you'll smell coffee, or you'll smell something that reminds you of that person, to let you know that they got your message, uh, that everything is okay, that you're gonna be okay. Um, there's and don't forget also that uh, when you're having an issue, or you're struggling with something, and you pray to God. Uh, there you shouldn't only pray when you need something. Um, they're called daily struggles for a reason. You struggle every day. You should be speaking to God every day, uh, and not just when you're having an issue. Um, when things are going well, uh, be grateful, be thankful, thank the Lord for what they brought into your life. Uh, learn to learn that you're not alone. Uh, you're not alone going through anything. Uh, you you always have a reason to reach out to God, whether it's for something that you're struggling with, or something that's going really well. Just don't forget to show your appreciation. Um, Now today, for our special guest, we have Reverend Billy Graham. He's going to be coming through for us. And what's really interesting, and kind of ironic, really, is I listened to him all the time when I was growing up. My mother was always a big fan, and uh, it was always his show was always on TV, or she had tapes and things. Tapes, that shows my age a little too. We didn't have CDs back then, um, or iPods. But yeah, I used to listen to his messages, listen to watch the programs and everything, and I kind of grew up with that. So it's kind of exciting to have him coming through for us on the show. Uh, and I'd like to go ahead and turn this over to Barry now, and Reverend Billy Graham, and let's listen.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well.
Good. It's a good thing. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. I know we did. We've got our daughter and son-in-law here with us, and we had a bunch of friends in, and so far it's been a pretty good holiday for us. But yes, it was very, very true about what you're speaking about, remembering loved ones. Uh, we lost a friend yesterday, Rick Pruitt, who was on Paradelphia Radio. Uh, I've done a lot of guest shots with him, and just a really, really good guy. And he passed yesterday. So, anybody in the paranormal community, uh, Rick's gone. He's just traveled to another dimension. And I have a feeling that I'm going to be speaking with him pretty soon. So, anyway, all right, this morning we have the Reverend Billy Graham with us. I'm not going to say any more about it. I think everyone understands. So, Reverend, if you're ready to start, let's do it. Thank you, Barry. I'm quite honored to be able to return again to try to speak to the people. We try to influence others from over here, but it's very difficult. Many pretend that they don't hear our words, or if we come to them in a dream, they often forget the dream or don't realize what was taking place. So it is truly a good thing that we can speak live through you We do appreciate how hard you are trying, among with Bill and many of the other people that watch and help as well, trying to pass on the words of our God. Today, I want to speak to you about faith. Faith is believing in something that you cannot see, you cannot hear, you cannot feel, but you know that it's there. When one of the Holy Spirits come to you, maybe you feel an electricity going through your body, a coldness. Many people don't understand this, but everyone has a little bit of God in their hearts. He truly knows what is going on. He truly hears every word of prayer. I know there are many of you out there that think this is impossible, but I can assure you from this side that it is not. Just as Barry has no idea what I'm going to say next, God does truly exist. I always knew it. He sent me back to deliver his words, and I tried to do my best. I managed to speak to millions and millions of people, so there are many that I have affected in their lives. I want you to also know that you can affect other people as well. Start simply. Start by simply calling someone that you know is in need. It's the Christmas season. Tell them that you're there to help them. The virus has affected many, many people, especially the elderly have been isolated. They feel that they're alone. They feel that nobody loves them. Call them up. Tell them that you do care about them. There are many people that actually consider taking their lives during this period. That is very sad. People should never take their lives. I can assure you that all souls were sent back with lessons to learn. When you take your own life, you cut that lesson short. You will have to return at a future time and learn those lessons again. Do not waste a lifetime. Try to be very positive. Think of what Jesus went through. He returned knowing that he was going to meet a very violent and painful death. He never let that slow him down. Even though his ministries only lasted for 3 years, his words have changed the world. Billions of people read his words. There are many that read his words and then go out and do what they want, but that's another issue. Just know this. Know that God truly is with you. He walks with you. He understands you. All you have to do is speak to him. It doesn't matter what religion you are. You could be Muslim, Hindu, Christian. All religions go to the one God. There's a basic foundation to all of his teachings that occur in all great world religions. Now, there may be those that have taken his words and interpreted them to mean that maybe only this single faith can wind up in heaven. Well, let me assure you that is not accurate. If you lead a good life, if you have the love of God in your heart, you understand what you're doing to help others, then you will go to heaven. Everyone goes to heaven. Of course, you are judged for what you've done when you have lived this lifetime. Your guides will speak to you about the lessons you've learned, the lessons you failed to learn, and they will tell you what you need to do in your next life. But let me tell you this. A human life is a valuable thing. There's been much planning and has gone into sending you back to live these lives. All we want of you is to show love. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That simple command is really all that you have to understand. If you treat others like you want to be treated, then all will be well. Hopefully, the other individuals will return the love that you show. This is the first step. The first step is simply understanding. I hope that my words today can help you to understand. It is so very, very simple. We watch from over here and we watch humans, how they complicate their lives. They show anger. They show hatred. That is complicating your own life. Because when you show that anger or hatred will be returned. And it becomes a downward spiral. You show anger to someone else. They get angry. Perhaps they take it out on their wife or their children. You're setting off a chain reaction. When you show anger or hatred, there are many others that reflect that emotion. But the same is true when you show love. When you show love, that love is reflected by others. They will have a good day, maybe. They will go to their family. They'll tell their family that they love them. They'll call somebody. They'll tell them that they love them. You are setting off a chain reaction, but you're setting off a good chain reaction. There are many people out there that have accumulated incredible wealth. It seems as though they've also accumulated incredible hatreds and anger. They could use that wealth to help others. There are many that need it. But many of them choose that they are going to do self-fulfillment. Maybe they spend millions and millions of dollars on a yacht. They fly here, they fly there. They preach about how the environment needs to be protected. But they fly in these huge planes that create all the pollution. These people are hypocrites. They think that they have all the answers. Well, I assure you they don't. When they return home, they're going to find out what they've done wrong. And I guarantee you that they will not be able to take their yachts or their money with them when they pass. They will be judged as every other soul is judged. I'm sure they won't believe it because they know better. They know there's no God. They know nothing can touch them because of their great wealth. They have much learning to do. This is not the life plan they were sent back with. A life plan will never, ever include hatred. It won't include anger. And it won't include not helping others. All of this are decisions that evil energy has affected the people that they make. Today, I just simply would like to have you believe. Have faith and believe. Those are wonderful words. Speak them. Do not be afraid of them. Why should you fear God? If you live a wonderful life, help others, there's nothing to fear. I can assure you that God loves all souls. He loves everyone. He loves those who create evil. I know that sounds like a paradox, but it is true. He loves everyone. Do not be afraid to ask for his help. Suppose you have done many things in the past. Ask him for forgiveness. Our God is a very forgiving spirit. All you have to do is ask, but you have to follow through on what you're asking for. If you ask for forgiveness, then you must change your life. Suppose that you have done violence and that you've stolen and you've done many bad things. Well, you will be judged for that. But if you truly understand in your heart that you've done wrong, then you will find forgiveness when you return. So really, faith and love is a very, very simple message. Follow those words. Know that they are truly some of the most important words that you will ever learn in your vocabulary. Countries need to learn that lesson. You're living in very difficult times. People have weapons of mass destruction and have the ability to totally end human evolution. Pray to God to lead them. He will not interfere with their free will, but he will try to lead them. Everyone has guides. Even the most terrible people, their guides try to lead them. Of course, they truly ignore that guidance and when they do things against other humans. But God will try to lead people to the right track. They can use their free will to ignore his words, and many, many do. They can go out and they can say, oh, it's okay to kill a young child in the womb because they aren't human. I can assure you that each child in the womb of its mother has a life plan and is human. No loving God would ever command people to kill innocent children that have not yet been born. That is something you should focus on, because I know many, many people out there do not believe that fact. A woman can be forgiven for having an abortion if she truly understands what she did was wrong. There are circumstances, the life of the mother, for instance, where it's fine. But overall, the trend towards killing the young in the womb is far, far much worse than many things that you can conceive of. Just remember this: God would never ask you to take an innocent life. It's that simple. So I've digressed a bit from what I was going to speak about, but I feel very strong about abortion. I know that there are millions of souls whose lives are extinguished before they ever see the light of day, and it bothers me. Today, I want you to simply focus on this wonderful Christmas season. I want you to focus on helping others. I want you to focus on showing the love that God shows to you. If he loves you, why do you not love him back? Sometimes things can be very simple. Don't overthink it. When you pray to God, just simply have a conversation with him. He'll hear you. He'll assign angels to help you. He'll do many things. You will be truly surprised when you put your life in his hands. Many of you already understand that. There are many of you out there that are incredible souls. You're helping spread his words, and you're doing all that you can. So, yesterday was Christmas. Don't stop focusing on God just because his birthday is over. Remember God's love. There's nothing more important than that. So thank you for allowing me to come through today. I always appreciate having the time and the ability to speak to you. And I will continue to try to lead others from this side. You can pray to me as well. I will pass the words on. God also hears that. There are many things that we can do from over here if you ask. So on this wonderful day, and every day is wonderful. On this wonderful day, have faith, love God, and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So thank you so much for having me. Goodbye. If you want me to return, I would be most happy to do so. There you go. Okay, I don't have much to say after that, so I'm going to leave you.
Okay.
I thought it was a wonderful conversation.
Yes, it was.
So I will be back next week with you, and we'll see I'm thinking that maybe next week we would change the pace a bit. Maybe Archangel Gabriel would be the one we should be speaking to.
Okay, that'll
So
work.
I'm going to leave you. Next week we will hear from an archangel.
Okay.
Hope everybody has a wonderful week. Goodbye.
Thank you, Barry. Okay, there we have it. A message from Reverend Billy Graham. That's it's odd how things resonate with me. This part of the show, after the guest, I rarely have anything for, because I usually I'll adjust with whatever they spoke about, and he said it all. Uh, I don't really have a whole lot else to say. Uh, Everything that I was thinking, uh, all came through with that. Uh, there, when I started writing this particular sermon for this week, I hadn't heard uh, about the passing. I didn't realize that it was going to all fall into place like that. Uh, it was an interesting show. I always learned something about myself and about the world and how everything works. Uh, I hope everyone out there also learned a little bit. I hope we learned a lot, actually. Uh, we'll look forward to hearing from Archangel Gabriel next week, and we'll see you all then. And God bless.